Hello, party people! Hello, it is Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today I'm utilizing the Softflex Turtle Love Design Challenge Kit, okay, from Softflex. This is our last project of the mini series for this specific kit. It's been super good. We've gotten, I want to say, 3 bracelets, 2 pairs of earrings, 3 pairs of earrings, 3 pairs of earrings, 3 bracelets, and now a necklace that we're going to do. And honestly, I don't even know if we're going to use all the beads in this necklace, but we shall see. So I've gotten myself some fuchsia Ceylon, and I have my kit beads, and we're going to do a little knotting project. Let's get this party started. All right, guys, here we are down on the mat with our last project from Turtle Love from Softflex. So I have these beads chosen, and again, if you missed this, we went through this in the unboxing where I kind of made these little plans. And this one doesn't necessarily have like a plan. It was just more of like, we're going to use these beads for something. So here we are. So here we are doing it. I really like this focal. This was kind of like the main finale of the box for me, and I thought it was really cute. So we're going to jump into it. So I have 0.5 millimeter fuchsia colored Ceylon string. It's not focusing. And this is going to be my pop of color, which is why I painted my little charm, which we did in another, I think it was maybe the second video. We painted up all of our little charms. Ooh. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to do knotting, so I need a tweezer. Do I have a tweezer down here? Decisions. Decisions. Da, da, da. I got a shovel with a tweezer on it, so that'll work. Because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. Alright, so let me see. How do we want to go about it? Do we want to do double the string? Do we not? Yeah, maybe we should. Do we want to go all the way around? Do we want to do... We got a lobster claw. All the things. Do we want to do multi-strand? Let me see. I've never used a check glass before for this particular situation. I don't know if I could get 2 of these guys in there. Maybe. It's questionable. Let me see. For science. No, I don't think I could. Okay, so with that whole situation, let's just get we're going to get a wingspan and a half of Ceylon cording, just for safety. All right. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put on our pendant. So I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to come down here and marry up these ends. Let me get this up out of here. Okay, I'm going to marry up the ends. And this is what we got. So I think I'm going to tie a little knot right here, but I don't think I'm going to make it super tight to the bead. I'm just going to bring it down with my finger. So it could still pass over. I think that's probably best. There we go. So a little overhand knot there. Now I do think that I want to put one of these guys on top. And I'm going to see if I can't get away with that without having to get my ends glued up quite yet. So that kind of leaves me with an odd number. I wonder if it would look funny if I put 2. Let's see what it looks like if I just put 2. I think I'm going to go with 1. It's a little bit distracting. Oh, that guy's going to cover up my knot. Okay. Okay, hold on. Back this train up. Let's do a couple of things we could do, but I think I'm going to do spacer. Then the bead. So I think that spacer has a smaller hole. Yeah. Okay. Now, do I want to put a bead on top of there? Because I could. Like maybe a bicone, perhaps? No, I don't think I do. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, if you've never done knotting with us before, I have a lot of videos about knotting, okay? And it's basically the same step. You do the same step. Once you get it, you got it. It's good. You're good to go. So basically what we're going to do, okay, is we're going to take both strings. You're going to make sure all the slack is out. You're going to wrap those around these 3 fingers right here. Come around to here. You're going to take both of them. You're going to go 1. And then you're going to take your tools, or your tails again, and you're going to go 2. Okay. Now, you're going to come in with your tweezer. You're going to go through the loop. And then you're going to hold on, you're going to attach onto what we consider to be the base string, which is this string here. Okay. So, you're going to make sure you're down there where you want to be. Your loop should be on the tweezer. Zoom in. Your loop should be on the tweezer, not over here. Okay. So wherever you put the tweezer, that is where your knot's going to go. So if you wanted to have this to have more slack, you would need to move up a little bit, okay? So then we're going to take both. You're going to make sure that there is no slack in here, and we're going to pull this straight up. Don't pull it out away from you, pull it straight up towards the camera. Ooh, as I just jacked everything up. Okay, like this. Straight up. Okay, once you got this, you're then going to remove your tweezer. I put mine down. Okay, once you get going, sometimes you can get gravity in there, and if you put it down, and you want to make sure that there isn't slack. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the top, and you're going to put your tweezer around the base string, kind of loosely, right? And then you're going to pull and push down with the tweezer and pull your tail up at the same time to lock the knot into place. So you're going to grab a hold of it and you're going to push it down. So you got to use some force with that. Okay? And then once you got it down there, you're going to kind of push your bead up a little bit, and that's going to lock your knot into place. So this is what we end up with. And that's it. That's the step. That's the move. Okay? So there we go. We got the beginning of our necklace. can still freely move. Okay. Now I'm going to split. Now, I have to get these, ooh, thought I got a knot in my string. I was like, oh, a knot already? I got to get these ends straightened up here. We're going to take our Loctite super glue, and we're going to take a little baggie or plastic or whatever you got. You're going to put a little super glue on there. Okay, you're going to take one end and you're going to pull it through the glue at least twice. Now here's the thing with this glue trick. Okay, you're going to stick this so it can dry. Don't let it stick to anything. Don't put it on your mat. It'll pull all the little fibers off. So the thing about this is once you put glue on here, it's going to make that end of the string a little bit thicker until it gets worked in. Okay, once you start using it and the glue kind of wears off a little bit, you know, it's going to be better. But right at the jump, you're going to have a little bit thicker string right there. So if you're using smaller beads like we might have to do, you might have a little bit of an issue at first, but just know that as long as you keep working with it, it'll work out for you. Okay. So you can see even, well, hopefully you can see on here, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a little clear chunk I can see, even though it's not even dry yet, where there's going to be like a little bump in my string. That's just from the glue. Don't worry about that. Okay, so let those dry. We're going to put this back on here. In the interim, we're going to, while those are drying, we're going to figure out our little pattern, or what, if we're going to do a pattern, or what we're going to do here. So what I think we should do, I kind of want to put these larger beads towards the front. Do I want all the larger beads? Honestly, I kind of want to use some, I like these seashells to be like this, where there's like one down and one up. I like that. So I'm going to do that a couple of times. Now, all these beads have different size holes, okay? So, some are larger, some are smaller, some are going to need a larger knot, some are, these are things you need to consider when you're making these types of things. Some are going to need 2 times the knot, some might even need 3 times the knot. It really all just depends. Now, another thing you could do, which we might do, dependent on the situation, is you might need to add a seed bead. Now, if you're new to this, I would highly suggest adding a seed bead because you're going to have, you know, a learning curve a little bit with getting used to the knotting. You don't want things to be slipping over your knots until you at least get used to it. So some of these fire polish would be fine if you didn't want to use a seed bead. And these bicones would probably be fine on a 1 strand doing the double knot. But just for safety, perhaps a seed bead, if you're just getting used to it, you know. And then once you do it enough, like once you get through probably like 1-2 projects, you're like, oh, get it, I get it. So, all right, these should be dry. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our cutter and we're going to cut this at an angle like this, so it's sharp on the end. You want it to basically mimic a needle. You're going to do it on both sides. Now, I did do about 2 inches or so. None of that matters because you're not going to get down here to where you're using this area. This will be cut off in the end. But if you should start to get some fraying or something from the beading, you can always then trim, and if you have enough going on, then you don't have to worry about re-gluing. All right. So now we are going to start out. I want to do kind of a pattern. I'm going to start with some little beads. I'm going to do maybe a green and like that. Like that. Put these in here. And oh, so my plan with this, I think, let's see, these are all the seashells I have. Is there another seashell? No, it's an extra seashell. The plan with this is to just use all of these beads to create like an over the head necklace where it doesn't have an ending, but I have done other videos where I do the endings, but I don't know that we'll need to do that because this will probably be long enough, but we'll see. So maybe I'll do green here, green here. It's a different bead. Boop, boop, boop. Got a fire polish. I feel like I need another fire polish down here somewhere. Here. Alright, so I'm going to start with this. I want these cat's eye also in here. Maybe I'll put that here. Okay, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. So I'm going to start on this side. I'm not going to worry about this other side at all right now. And I'm just going to start one bead at a time. Now here's the thing. You don't have to do one bead at a time. You can do a couple of beads at a time if you want to make it go faster, whatever you want to do. It's completely up to you. See, so here's the situation with this glue. There's a little pokey part that's blocking my bead up. So I kind of got to get that off there. That doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. Okay, so get on there, you. Okay, so here's my first bead. Now I'm going to tie a knot. So we're going to do the same knot that we did right here. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. We're going to go, I'm sorry, we're going to wrap it around 1 time. And then I'm going to go through with the tail. 1, 2. I'm going to come in with my tweezer, go through the loop, and grab a hold of the base cord right where I want the knot to be. I want the loop to be, my battery just died, loop to be on the tweezer, and then we're going to pull straight up. Okay, then we're going to get this tweezer out of there, push and pull the knot down into place. We're going to then push the bead, and there's our first bead. Cool, right? Okay, on to the next one. The next one is this guy. Same thing. 1, 2. Through the loop, and grab a hold of the base cord, straight up. Put it down. When you put it down, you should be able to see if there's any slack. Okay. All right, now here's a larger bead. So here's something we need to look into. What size hole does this larger bead have? So this bead does have a larger hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a seed bead. Let's see, I have 11s. I'm going to put that on there. Then I'm going to put this guy on there. Another 11. And this will basically count as 1 bead, right? So I get all those on there. Here's what they look like. Okay, again with the knot. 1, 2. Grab a hold right where you want the knot to be. Push it into place. Push your bead up. Here's what it looks like. Okay? So now I'm going to show you on the other side what it's going to start to look like when you start to do both sides. So sticking with the pattern here. One, two, through the loop, grab a hold of the base wire, cord, pull it straight up, put it down, push. Same thing with this one. One, two, through the loop, onto the base cord, pull, put it down, push. Then the seed bead situation again. Seed bead, larger bead, seed bead. Okay, so this is probably the last one I'm going to do, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish up all this, and I'll show you how I'm going to end it once I get up there, and where I'm going to stick this little seashell charm. I haven't quite made a decision on that yet, but I want to use it, obviously. Okay. So this is what we got so far. Looking quite smashing, if you ask me. So there we go. So the pink knots, I just thought we'll give it a little cute little pop of color. And then when I come back to the top, I'll show you how I'm going to end it. And we'll see where we're going to put our seashell. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, party people, here we are up at the end. So I didn't have very many beads left, but that's okay because I've measured this and I have 18 inches, not including the findings. And this is the beads that I had left, so I just decided to stop where I am at. And I am going to use a clasp at the end. Obviously, I have to. So to do that, well, first of all, here's what I got. This is the little pattern that I did. So I just did this little pattern. I did have to add a few seed beads to where the holes were, you know, kind of bigger in some of the beads, and up here I had to use a seed bead with a spacer to get that little guy to work out. But other than that, everything went pretty well. Up here at the top, I just did a little pattern with smaller beads, and now we're gonna finish it off. So some people can have a tendency with stringing projects to get intimidated by the endings of how to finish them and the appropriate way to finish them, etc., etc. I know this because I used to be one of those people, and I'm not anymore, because my grandma told me, she was like, listen, when we started beading, she was like, you have to learn how to put string on. It's one of the first things you should learn. Like when you're doing a peyote stitch or a looming project or something, you have to learn how to add string. You're going to need it. And you don't want to be working with a million things, right? Like a million feet of string. So I took that as kind of a learning opportunity to just not be afraid to learn some of those hardest things right off the bat. Now, the other part of it is that there is no right or wrong way to finish a project. You can finish a project however you want, as long as the project stays together. Okay, that's the main purpose. So there's really no reason to be getting super anxious about it, right? Everybody's going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to show you how I do it with these projects when I want to add clasps. And honestly, it's kind of one of the more easier ways, in my personal opinion. So, first things first, you're going to say, okay, this is the front of my necklace. On the front of my necklace, I'm going to put just a jump ring on this side, and I'm going to put the lobster claw on this side. So, what I do is I just make it easy for myself at the end. Now, if you are a person who doesn't want to mess up your pattern, this might not work for you, but I prefer to do it this way instead of panicking about the end. Moral of the story. So I'm going to get a little silver bead here. It's just a little spacer bead. Now, when choosing a bead for the end, you're going to want to pick a bead that you know you can fit 2 strings through, okay? But it's also got to be small enough to where when you go to tie your knot, it's not going to go through that bead. So I'm using these beads right here. Okay, they're just regular, I don't know the size of the hole, but these are just little spacer beads. So what I'm going to do is I have a knot here, and I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put him on. Now I'm going to utilize this bead to come back through to hide my loop. So then I'm going to put on my jump ring. Now you could use a closed ring if you want to. Maybe we should do that. Well, no, I'm going to use a jump ring. I was going to say, it doesn't really matter. So what you're going to do is you're just going to put that on there like it's, just pretend it's not there, okay? You're going to wrap around as you normally would doing the knot. You're going to do 1, 2. You're going to come in with your tweezer. So now you can see I got my jump ring here. Oh, it's in the loop. You can go through the loop. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of space, maybe, let's say 2 millimeters of space, maybe 2 to 3 millimeters of space for my knot. Now remembering, wherever you put your tweezer, that's where your knot's going to go. I'm going to pull that into place. Okay. Pull my tweezer out and push this down as I normally would. So we got a little bit of space here to work with. Whoop, pulled it out. Whoop, whoop. Remember not to panic. Okay, so I just pushed it back into place with my tweezer. So now I'm going to do another knot. I'm going to wrap around the jump ring again, and I'm going to do a half hitch knot. So I'm going to come through there, and then right here you can see there's a loop. So I'm going to go up through the bottom of that loop to create a half hitch knot. Pull that down. So now what that does is not only have you double wrapped your little jump ring, but also it's got your thread going down, ready to go back down into this bead to hide it. So you're just going to want to make sure that that is tight. And then you're going to take this, so this is why we left this little bit of space, so that you can easily get back through this bead here. Okay. Now holding on to this jump ring pretty tight, you're going to pull that so you're getting all the slack out of there. There's no slack in there. Okay, and if you're asking yourself, Randy, why are you using a jump ring? I like to use jump rings on the end of my items just in case the clasp breaks. You then don't have to re-knot the whole thing. You just have to change out the clasp. Okay, so that's just a personal preference. So now that we are here, what we're going to do is we're going to do another half hitch knot. Now, as you can see, there is already a knot right here. We're just going to go over the top of that one. Half hitch knot. You're going to go around, go through the loop. Now here's the deal. You're going to want to make sure that this knot is going to fall where you want it to fall. So you're going to start to pull it slowly, and you're going to want to make sure it's going right there on top of that knot. and you might have to guide it a little bit. Okay, so there's one, and I'm going to go again for safety, half-hitch knot. You don't have to, but you could. I'm gonna. Okay, pull that tight. The tighter you can pull it, the less obvious it's going to be that there's multiple knots right there. Okay, but it's not going to be a super big deal. There we go. This is what it looks like. Now, we're going to hit that with a little bit of glue. Where's the glue? Just a smidge. Nothing crazy. Okay, we'll let that dry. We're going to go on while that's drying to the other side here, and we're going to do the same thing. So, I have a knot. I'm going to put my bead on. Looks like I broke this needle. Get that trim. Okay, put the bead on. Now we're going to take the jump ring, go through the jump ring. Okay, we're going to pretend the jump ring is not there. We're going to wrap around. 1, 2. Jump ring is in the loop. Go through the loop, and then leaving 2 millimeters of space here above. That's probably too much. About right here. Pull tight. Push it down into place. Okay. Making sure I got enough room. It looks like I do. And then we're going to take our tail. We're going to go through the jump ring, create a half-hitch knot, so you have a loop, come up through the bottom of the loop, pull that tight. Okay. Now the string is pointing down, so we're going to run our tail back through this bead. It's all fuzzy. It's all fuzzy on the end. You don't want fuzziness because that means it's not stiff. It'll make it harder to go through there. Okay, where am I at here? This one, I may have pulled it a little tight because I'm struggling to get my he was in there. Where'd he go? There he is. Let's see if I can get it with my plier. Struggling to get that little tail out of there. There we go. Okay, bring him down. Make sure all the slack is out. And then half-hitch knot right here. Going up through the bottom of the loop. Making sure he's going where I want him to go. Pull pretty tight. One more time. Okay. So hit this guy with a little bit of glue. Okay, you don't want to put too much glue because if you do, it's going to get hard and then it's possible that it could be scratchy on the neck or something. So while that one's drying up, okay, we're going to move over to this side. This one should be dry. We're going to go ahead and we're going to trim this off. Okay. Now I save all those tails with the needles on because you can use them for earrings or other little bracelets or whatever. So there's a little nub. I'm going to give this a little bit of fire. Now if you have one of the burner guys, you could use that as well, but we're just going to give it a little smidge. Keeping in mind there is glue on it, so watch out. And there we go. Okay, while we're waiting for that other side to dry up, so we can put our lobster claw on, which we were provided, by the way, we are going to get our little charm ready. I think I'm going to use just another little oval. Do I want to use an oval or a round? I do have this little round that's kind of textured and cute. Maybe I'll try that. Okay, so I'm just using this little guy here. It looks to be probably like a 5. I'm trying to find the opening. There it is. Okay, so I think I'm going to put him on this side, and I kind of want him down. Do I want him here? No, I don't know that I want him there. I do want him kind of more down towards the front. Maybe like here. I'm going to go in between this blue and this green bead. Put him on there, see what we get. Kind of just hanging off. Yeah, I like that. It's cute. So then when it's hanging, it can either be kind of to the side. That'll be cute. We'll look at it on the form when we're done. Okay, back over here. We're going to finish this up. I generally like to snip on a place of the string that has glue on it, so it's like stiffer. Makes it easier to cut, so you don't have a whole bunch of fraying and such. And I would like to go with one cut. This one had a little more extra fray than the other. While it's hot, I try to push it into the rest of the string, keeping in mind that this is nylon cording, so it's going to melt together. Okay. And now we're going to put on our lobster. So now I'm going to use another jump ring. This is a personal preference. You do not have to do this. If you want to use that one, you can. I just, when I'm tying onto them, I don't generally like to open them after I've tied onto them. So, I mean, you can if you want to. It's completely up to you. I'm going to go this way. Okay. And then now at this point, this will fit right in there into this guy, but if you wanted to add additional length or something, you could do like say you want to add the end of a toggle or a larger ring to show that this is the end, or you know, whatever. This is where you're going to do that. You could even just put an extender chain, whatever you want to do. I'm going to leave mine like this, and I'm going to give you the full measurement here. So I measure to where it comes down on the neck, right? So we've got, with the findings, 19 inches, which happens to be my favorite length for myself. But anyway, so you could add extender chain here if you wanted so that it could be longer. You know, it's completely up to you. I'm going to flip to the other camera so I can show it to you on the form, and then also what I do with them after we're done with all this. Hi, it's Saturday. I'm in cleaning mode. But I had to finish this up. Okay, so here we are with our necklace. Let's put her on here. Oh, you guys can see everything okay? Looks like you can. So yeah, this is where we're at with the necklace. So I think this is really cute. I like the way that the seashell is hanging kind of just off to the side. As you can see, it would be, you know, maybe on the neck here or something to that effect, maybe a little bit higher. But yeah, you could add an extender chain to give yourself more length or to make it adjustable if you're going to sell it. So I really do like this. I like the way that this guy turned out. I hope that you guys like it. So what I will do now with it is I will take it off of here and I will give it a little spritz of water. So, and just a little bit, nothing crazy. That's going to lock your knots in, but also it's going to make the cord relax a little bit. So if there's any twists or weird kinks or anything, I'm then going to put it, like when I do the mist, I'll do with a little water bottle. And then I'll put it back on here and I will let it sit in this situation. So then it's going to dry up, the knots are going to tighten up, and everything is going to kind of relax a little bit, and then it'll be ready to sell or whatever's going on. Okay, but yeah, I really like it. I like the way it turned out. It did turn out exactly the way I thought that it would, minus that it's shorter than I originally intended. I was going to make a longer one, but I still love it a lot. I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. This is our last video for Softflex Turtle Love. It's been super fun. So if you did want to get yourself a Softflex Turtle Love kit to do these projects, you're going to swing on over to softflexcompany.com. And I haven't checked today if they still have some, but I do know that there were yesterday. So anyways, I do have, I think we did, what did we do? 6 projects with that one kit. So that's pretty good value, especially the projects that we made. I think we got 3 bracelets and a few pairs of earrings and this necklace. Was there something else? And there was still a few beads left, and I still have lots of the wire. So this is one of the fun things about getting the design kit, is that there's 10 feet of Softflex on this roll. You know, you pay basically $35, like $34.95 or something for the entire kit, and you know, you're getting your wire and all of the things. So I think it's a good deal. I did see that I am be getting the next kit from Softflex as well. So I'm excited. I think that one, I'd have to look at it. But anyways, so there we go. I hope you guys that are enjoying these videos. So make sure to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can find me on the internet again. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.